Hello. One second, I'm going to put on this new album that I just bought. Actually, I need to stand up for this. I just bought the Leon Bridges Gold Diggers album on vinyl, so that's what I'm going to play in the background here. It is a beautiful rainy day, and and I was starting to do a tarot reading for someone, and what popped up was just a whole bunch of cards that I've been recircling and getting. And so I thought, you know what, maybe this isn't just a reading for this person. Maybe it's for a group of people. Maybe it's for the collective. So I just wanted to share. I'm having some downloads, some intuitive channels, and I just want to help you guys navigate through this because I feel like life has been really heavy and chaotic and confusing. Maybe you're feeling a little lost. I just want to help bring ease and understanding to what you're going through. So what I pulled was, I know I didn't shuffle it in front of the camera or whatever. You're just gonna have to believe me. I'm not a liar. For those of you who do know me, you know I'm not gonna lie to you. I just have had these cards circling a lot, and when they popped up for me doing this reading for someone else, it's like, you know what, I need to share. So I'm not shuffling right now. These cards are just out, so it may look like I'm just choosing whatever, but they resonate. And if it resonates with you, that's my hope, is so it can help you. So welcome love bugs. Welcome to the lily pad. This is my pad. I also am wearing this beautiful necklace I just got. I'll have to show it to you. Maybe I'll get closer, but it is this gorgeous hunk of labradorite. I can never say it. I always pronounce it like the dog, but lab. And I didn't notice until my sister's boyfriend pointed it out, but it is a frog. And it's funny because I've had so much frog energy just popping out at me. The frog totem spirit animal is definitely just speaking to me. And I think it's funny that this necklace just spoke to me. I had to buy it. And then it is definitely like this little tiny frog face, the eyeballs, and then it's like little nose beak or whatever. So yeah, that is what I'm wearing today with some red moonstone and sunstone and then lab. Thought I'd show off my crystals. I also got this beautiful babe. Ooh, so beautiful. So yeah, I am a slob today because it's a rainy day, and I decided to have a relaxing, chill me day because I've just been doing so much crap. So it's like time to decompress. I even poured myself a little glass of wine. So here we are. Cheers. All right. So, oof. I feel like it's been heavy, and I feel like a lot of you have been feeling this heaviness. If you haven't, I am so happy for you. But this is the card I keep pulling over and over again. I do have a different tarot deck that strays away from a regular deck. This in a regular deck would typically be the Devil card, but I love this one because it's a wild tarot deck, and it's really kind of goes more into the cycles of nature, which really resonates with me. It's the same thing, they just maybe instead of swords, the suit of swords, they use the suit of bows because it's more natural. So just things like that. But this devil card, but in this deck it is called the Guardian. Number 15. It is a major arcana card. So it's a heavy hitter. I'm just gonna read it because I think it's important for you guys to hear all of it, because some things might pop out more for you than it does for the next person or for me. So I like to read what it says, and then I always like to talk about it and then share what channels through me too, just because I think it's helpful even if you've memorized the cards, which I know my cards, but I think every time I read it, then I get something else from it. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what it wanted me to hear this time. It's not the same as last time. So, all right. The Guardian. I might sit up a little bit. Okay. Position on the wheel of the seasons, the wheel of the year. The Guardian stands at Sambian on November 1st at the gateway of the dead. He stands between the elements of water and earth and is associated with the waning moon. The bleached white skeleton of a great cave bear stands centennial in the night, guarding the entrance to a cave. The guardian spirit of the beast challenges those who would enter the cave of ancestral memory without understanding the nature of their own darkness. Within the cave's open maw, filled with jagged and sharp stalactites, is an unknown and untrodden path. Its destination is shrouded in gloom. No inner light burns to show a way through. Before the path may be followed, the guardian must be faced and mastery of one's own fear achieved. Over the centuries, there has been much cynical manipulation of the concept of the devil for political, religious, and doctrinal purposes, leading to the demonizing of this complex pagan nature spirit. Yet the primal role of such archetypes is one of protection and initiation, and is the human link to wilderness, nature, and fertility, sometimes manifested as fierceness, ecstasy, and sexuality. However, the fear engendered by warping of this archetype will be with us for a long time to come. So I think that's why they changed it to the Guardian instead of the typical devil card, because we have such negative connotations with it. But the devil is not such a negative card to get. Like, you don't need to be freaking out right now. I mean, it's heavy, but don't freak out. The Guardian stirs irrational fears from the muddy bottom of the human subconscious and fills the timid soul with foreboding. He is charged with an inhuman and unseen sentience, feeding off fear and panic with a malevolent joy. But within this sardonic and chaotic energy lie wisdom, courage, and strength. The human survival instinct was geared for fight or flight, yet we have learned to rationalize our darkest fears and deal with unknown dangers with intellectual insight. As we have evolved our understanding of the unknown, we have learned that no diabolical or supernatural force in the universe is as frightening as the human imagination. If the Guardian is frightening, it is because we are frightened by our own reflection, our own dark shadow, and it is this element of ourselves we must master. Within this process is the stripping away of conditioning and the distilling of absolute essentials within ourselves. Much can be gained by facing our most deeply hidden and suppressed fears, which usually stem from our own deepest instincts and desires. Once this truth has been absorbed and utilized for our own defense, the darkest of places and the most challenging of forest guardians can be looked in the eye without fear. A challenge has arrived in your life. The situation may be very complex. It may even have profound implications for your life and how you deal with the world. It may manifest itself in the form of a profound inner realignment or the facing of some physical outer predicament. Whether from the labyrinth that is the human mind or from some external source, the challenge that presents itself now must be seen for what it is, an opportunity. If something has been hidden or suppressed or repressed, if a situation has been left to decay or become unhealthy, now is the time to take control of your fears and deal with the insecurity with courage and integrity. Always be aware that however threatening or difficult this situation is, you can only become stronger and more resilient from the experience of understanding and accepting inner darkness. And then it has the little roots and branches, little key words that pops up. Trickster, the dark angel, Hern the hunter, the dark man of the sacred oak, lord of the universal underworld, Oberon, centennial of the threshold, and Pan. So I feel like a lot of us are going through a dark night of the soul or a dark journey where typically I feel like it's not as heavy and there's a tunnel. Usually if you're going through something heavy, it's a tunnel. It's heavy there, it's dark in it, but you can see the light at the end. The thing about this cave that we're going through is that it's a cave. And as you step into the cave, which you can choose to or not, but the more you resist, the heavier your shadow, the stronger your shadow will scream at you. Because your shadow wants to be loved too. That is, I think, the biggest lesson here is that we need to face our shadows and look it in the eyes and give it the love and attention that it so yearns for. I think we so often try to hide our shadows and just focus on the light, but that's pushing away a half of you. You are always going to have this shadow. You're always going to have this yin yang. Like, life is full of yin yang, the light and the dark. Light cannot exist without, it's just, they're together in this yin yang journey. So you need, what the shadow wants is to be heard. It's like becoming louder and louder, like a little 3-year-old having a temper tantrum, making you look at it. It's like, over here, I'm gonna make you notice me, so I'm gonna give you all this hardship, struggle, bullshit to go through so you can look me in the face. I want you to see me because you can't just push me aside anymore. I need to be seen, heard, and understood. And so it's just craving this need for understanding. And so I think a lot of us are going through this heavy period right now where on the other side is a more whole you that you've ever experienced. At least for me, because I'm now coming out of the cave, I feel like I went through it. I've been going through it. I'm not out of the cave yet, but I feel like I'm going through it, and I'm finally at the spot where now I've traveled through this dark cave and I can see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, or at the end of the cave. I'm coming to the opening on the outside. So there's more hope and lightheartedness. But the thing about a cave versus a tunnel is that when you're in a tunnel, you have this light at the end that is guiding you, that is giving you hope, that you know that there is light, that things are going to get better. But when you enter the cave of your own shadow, you're in pitch dark, you're in darkness, blackness. You can't see anything, and you're tripping over rocks and stalactites, and it's crazy, but you're just like, okay, I'll take it. Let's get through this. We have to get through this cave. Because on the other side is this whole new world. And I don't know about you, but I totally asked for this. I wanted to walk through this cave. I didn't know how hard it was going to be, but I wanted to walk through this cave because I wanted to feel that completeness, to feel an utter serendipity, bliss on the other side of this cave, a more fuller version of bliss. And you're in the dark cave and there is no light. There's nothing guiding you. There's nothing at the end saying, it'll be okay. You'll be okay. Look, over here, there's light. You're going to get through this. When you're in the dark cave, there isn't a light. And you have to go by your inner knowing. You just have to trust in yourself that things will be brighter, and you have to keep just stepping through the cave of darkness. And it's just going to keep throwing shit in your face for you to look at, be like, holy shit, yeah, wow, that's a lot. Like, at least for me, I was like, oh my god, that's gross. Oh my god, that's gross. Gross. But I was also like, okay, I guess that's like, I didn't really want to think of myself in that way, or I didn't want to accept that. But you face it, and then you send it love. So you come face to face with your darkness, and you say you love it. You're like, thank you for showing me this. I love and accept you. And that does wonders. You have to just accept. I think what I didn't realize was that I had unconditional love for everyone around me, and I gave everyone unconditional love. No matter what they did, no matter how much hurt or pain, I'm like, I love you, no matter what, through all lifetimes, forever and ever, no matter what you do, no matter where you're at in life. But then I didn't realize that I didn't give that same unconditional love to myself. I didn't realize that my love for myself was conditional. I thought it was unconditional because I do so many self-love practices. I'm always sitting and centering and giving myself love and trying to give my space the space to heal and love, and just I do that. But I didn't realize that there was conditions. Like, if I am not doing this and this and this, then I'm upset with myself. I don't love you. If I don't live the life I want, I'm gonna hate it. I'm gonna hate you. If I'm not being the person I want to be, I hate you. And I get it, because you just want to be your best version of yourself, and that is what I was striving for. And so that's why I was like pushing that so heavily aside, because I'm like, you need to be the fullest version of yourself. You need to be the best version of yourself. You need to do the things you came here to do. But You need to love yourself even if you don't accomplish those things, even if you aren't your best version of yourself, even if you are struggling or unhappy or sad or get angered. You need to love that version of you too, and not just look at that with hate, like, what are you doing? How could you act like that? I hate you. Like, stop being like that. You need to be this version. And so then the shadow grows stronger, and it's like, notice me. I just want some love. I just want to be loved too, because I'm a part of you. I'm as much a part of you as the light side of you. And so you're being greeted with that shadow in this dark cave. It's heavy. You can't see the light, and you're just trying to trudge forward. And it seems bleak and hopeless because there is no light. There's nothing around. It is just you facing your own shadow, your own reflection. So you need to send it love. You need to honor the process that you're going through and keep taking steps forward. And then eventually you'll get wandering through the cave, through the labyrinth, and find your way to an opening. And on that opening, then you will have faced your demons and became and integrated it into yourself and became more whole at the end of it. A more whole version of yourself, and you'll be able to love deeper, feel deeper, experience deeper. So on the other side is beauty, but it's tough right now. And I think a lot of us are going through that, or we're going through that. Let's see. So I kept pulling that card. And then I would say, okay, what can I do to get through it? Like, what is the lesson I need to learn here? And then I'd pull a card, and it just over and over again, I keep pulling the struggle card. Struggle. I'm like, okay, great. So I just need to struggle. The lesson is struggle. Like, what? There's nothing else I can do. I want to fix this. I want this. And it's like, no, you need to face your shit. So it's just going to throw it at you and throw it at you until you face your shit. You need to reflect that unconditional love back onto yourself and love deeper. And I would also get hardship, and so it was just like over and over all these dark cards, and it's like, geez, is it ever gonna get better? What can I do? And then you just keep stepping through it, and you realize that no matter what, you love yourself. And at the end of the day, everything's gonna be okay, and that you are meant to be here. So we also pulled this Kingfisher card. And this one feels more like what questions you need to ask yourself while on this journey through the dark cave to get you to the other side. Kingfisher, position on the wheel, departing symbolic towards the spring equinox. This tiny bird, both sexes, covered with the colors of the rainbow, is equally at home in the air or in water. With its remarkable ability to dive into the water and catch fish, the kingfisher has been symbolic of ancient wisdom and lore for centuries. You may need to exercise judgment, power, force of will. The king is impartial and helps you to see clearly what you no longer need to hold on to. Use your strength to cut yourself free of what weighs you down. Use your strength to cut yourself free of what weighs you down. Articulate and just. This is someone who is a moral leader who upholds standards. Impartiality and justice are his or her trademark. His knowledge and research are of the highest quality. His highly principled discernment sees the heart of things. A friend who gives you perspective. Someone who can quantify or assess a situation precisely. Finding a way through chaos by calm clarity. Being watchful. The need for good counsel. Discerning the truth of a situation. Finding an impartial standpoint. Being fair, unfair. An urge to buck the system. Advice or counsel. A court case or dispute needing arbitration. Precise information. A disciplined approach. An unrelenting, harsh situation. What must you focus upon clearly? Who can give you good advice? What wise words will help the situation? What is your duty to society? Tracks and pathways. Intelligence, strength, watchfulness, counseling, the ability to judge true from false. What do you need to release? Be bold and make the first move. Keepers of the earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. So even though you feel alone in this dark cave, you are not. But you have to endure it alone. You need to pull yourself through this. Nobody can do it for you. So it feels really lonely. But no, you are loved by so many in all realms, not just here on this earthly plane. You have beings beyond that love you and are here for you and guiding you. We are creating heaven on earth. So we have to go through the bullshit so we can get to the shiny, beautiful love. So that's what's happening. We're trying to transcend and get to a higher state. And to get to the higher state, you need to let go of some baggage. You need to drop some weight. So you need to look at the weight and say, you're not really weight at all. I love you. I accept you in all of your fullness. Let's travel through this portal. Let's go. Ascend. And then have you answered your deepest calling? It's asking you, what is it that you truly want out of this life? What brings you joy? I think I'm going to pull another card here. And also maybe flip the record. Let's do that really quick. Okay. So I'm going to pull from an oracle deck, my Sacred Earth Oracle. Angels and guides, beings of light, my higher self, please guide the cards to help the collective in what they need to hear right now. What is it that we need? Okay, we got ready but waiting. And I resonate with this so hard because I feel like I've been in this frog energy where I'm like, okay, I'm ready to leap. I am ready for change. Let's do it. Where's my direction? Where do I need to go? And the universe has been like, not yet, no. Yes, get ready to leap, but not yet. I'm like, but I'm ready. It's like, no, wait. So we're being shown ready, but waiting. We are ready to come to the end of that cave. We are ready to take the next steps. We're ready to get out of this shit, but we need to wait and just ride these waves and walk through this to see then where it's going to push us. We need to free fall into the river, floating down the river. I think we are trying too hard also to tread the water, to try to stay with it or walk next to the river. We're working too hard. We're wanting change so bad that we're overexerting ourselves, and we almost need to just free fall into the river and just let it carry you. Let it carry you through this path. Because who knows? You could think that this is your desire over here, that this is what you truly want. But little do you know that there's actually something even crazier that you couldn't even imagine waiting for you if you let the river carry you. So you need to just be ready, but waiting. So we'll read it out right now. All right. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I've really been wanting to do tarot cards and channeling. I just feel so, I don't know, like I have to be a certain way, or I have to prep and get ready or something. And then today, all of a sudden, when I was doing this reading for somebody else, I was like, screw it, just do it. Like, you don't need to prep for it. Stop prepping so hard. It will unfold. And I think we are trying so hard to prep, like, oh, I'm ready. But are you ready? Like, you are still prepping and it's like jump and you're like, no. And you're like, it's like you have to free fall into the river and let it carry you. But we're almost hesitant to free fall into the river and let it carry us because we're like, wait, I'm not to my fullest version of myself. I am not through the dark cave yet. I'm not here for, like, I can't do this for people. I'm still in darkness. But you need to just begin and see where it carries you. So that was my lesson. That's what I am doing today. I'm just like, screw it. This is gonna be my first time doing this, and I really want to make this more of a thing. I want to actually, pull the cards as we're doing it, but this is just kind of how it unfolded, and these cards were just so perfect with what I feel like need to hear right now. So I just said, screw it. This isn't perfect this time. This isn't my ideal version of it, but nothing will be your ideal version, right? We just got to jump in and start going, and then it will unfold into something. Who knows? Who knows what this will unfold to? maybe you enjoy watching me do this, and then who knows what it will bloom to. Or maybe you hate it, and maybe I'm like, never again. But ready but waiting. There is no rush. Bide your time and be ready to act. Observe and build your stores of knowledge, energy, and resources. Resist being goaded to act before you are ready. You have not missed your chance. Prepare and be poised for an opportunity. Competence is not being certain of success. It is being prepared to give something your best shot. That's beautiful. That is exactly what I've been feeling. Spiritual meaning. You are protected by a higher power, and that is why everything seems to come to a standstill. It is said that there is a time, reason, and season for everything under the heaven, and this is true. When the time is right, all will clear, and things will progress easily. For now, patience is needed. The time is coming closer. Inside a seed, the tiny beginning of a plant is kept in stasis until just the right amount of water, oxygen, soil, and heat trigger its release into the world. The seed contains growth inhibitors which hold the new plant back until the conditions for survival are close to ideal. Exactly. So it's like, I see that you're ready, and you're ready to jump. You're ready to take this froggy leap onto another lily pad, but that lily pad's not ready yet. So I want you to just keep being ready, keep traveling through your journey, and also accepting and learning to be present and just loving where you're at, even if it's uncomfortable and even if it's not where you want to be. Love where you're at. Then that lily pad will present itself and you'll be able to take that leap. I love this frog analogy with my lily pad shit. It's funny. You'll be able to take that leap onto the next lily pad and into this whole new world. This is, you've outgrown that lily pad and it's sinking. And it's almost like you're floating in between. Maybe you're swimming through the primordial darkness, mucky waters, like trying to find the next one to leap onto. There is a very limited supply of food and energy in a seed, and once triggered, a new seedling uses these stores to send a small root into the earth, and the first shoots boldly shoot upward to the sunlight. Then the seed is no more. Its vital job of protector and nurturer is done. From here, it is up to the seedling to find nourishment and respond to its surroundings by stretching towards the light, water, and nutrients it needs to release its full height. No, to realize its full height. And that comes full circle into realizing your fullness. Because now that I am seeing this light at the end of this cave, I am realizing how much I needed to grow to get here, and how it sounds bad, but it's all, that's just life. You're just going to keep growing and keep becoming more and more whole and more one with yourself and the universe and everything. And it's like you almost didn't even realize how you weren't completely whole before, and now you're walking through and you're like, oh damn, okay, all right, that was heavy, that was a lot, I was juggling a lot, you threw a lot of shit at me, but I got through it, and now I feel even more grounded in my spirit and who I am, and of knowing myself and what I can handle and go through, making you stronger, more resilient, and more wise. So you realize then your height. You realize your wholeness. You realize what you can stretch to. And then, I mean, this journey is repeated. It's not like this is the one and only of life in this lifetime. But I think we're on the death side. We're coming to death of this old cycle. And you can either choose to keep cycling. Do you want to keep going through that? It's scary to walk through that cave. And the cave isn't fun, I'm going to be honest. It sucks. But it's on what's on the other side. More fulfillment than this cycle over here. And you need to be brave enough to take that leap into the abyss, into the dark cave, and say, you know what? I love myself. And then you'll come through and life will be even brighter than you could have even imagined. So that's what we're all hoping for. And please don't take that journey of cycling back and over. I mean, you can do it, but it's just gonna get harder and your shadow's gonna grow stronger and more angry and more, it's just gonna yell at you. It's gonna be like, notice me! I need you to notice me! So, take the leap. In this way, little by little, a mountain ash can become 5 times bigger than the seed it began with. But this is not the seed's concern. Its job is to give the plant embryo its best start. When the right conditions are right, there is no more waiting. Be ready to launch. Oh, that's good. I like that. That is good. Do we need another one from this deck? This is gonna be a long video, but whatever. This isn't for everyone. I don't even really expect anyone to watch this. So if you do, and if you are here with me, welcome. Thank you for being here. I love you. I see you. I understand what you're going through. Or if I don't, I want to. Either way, I'm here and I'm always sending love. Always sending love. I'm just gonna... Okay, perspective. We're gaining new perspective and getting clarity. That's great. We want clarity. Coming out of the dark storm to clarity. Yeah, I don't think I need to read those ones. I think that we needed to read the ready but waiting. All right. Anything else I should pull from? Maybe we should do a fairies. From the magical fairy deck that I need to return to someone. But I'm using it in the meantime because I love fairies and they love to talk to me and I need to get this one for myself. Okay, we're gonna remember these. All right. Give me guidance. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Fine. The Master Maker. Interesting. Ooh. And it's number 22. The Master Builder number. Interesting, because I feel like we are in a building stage. We are we're completely shedding ourselves, but in that way, we are building towards newness. Okay. So 22. I'm feeling 22. All right. The Master Maker. Cute little fairies. I like looking at them. Okay. Skill, craftsmanship, magician, moral strength, and invention. The Master Maker is the master of the forge, upon which we create our futures and forge our own souls. Ooh, exactly. He sees the world beyond the other world, the world of first causes. Through his magic, he brings them into his own world of fairy. From his world, these concepts trickle down into our own through dreams and visions picked up by artists and craftsmen everywhere. But he makes the first, the original. He is the great inventor, and the sign above his door reads, "Practical problems solved here." He sings as he works, and as in all fairy magic, his song does as much to shape objects as do the blows of his hammer. Healing cups, magic swords, fairy jewels, crowns of stars, and other bespelled works of his finest craftsmanship pass through his forge and beneath his hammer. The master of fire, air, earth, and water, he adds the fairy element of moonlight to everything he creates. He would be the first to tell you that superb craftsmanship, however magical, is hard work, joyful, and energizing hard work, but always challenging. As the Master Maker reminds us, no job is too small to do beautifully. Oh, I like that. His work is done as well as possible, even where it will never be seen by anyone else. Yeah, you're doing this for you. For you. Bringing ideas into excellently crafted reality can only be done when we, like the Master Maker, are willing to plan meticulously, begin carefully, and persevere through difficulties. Learning still more of our craft as we work. Craftsmanship is also a labor of love. We must be willing to tackle difficult challenges and have a determination to surpass previous achievements. Patience is always required, as is the willingness to do a thing again and again until it is even better than the best one can do. The Master Maker has the moral strength to refuse the temptation to do anything less. And he is a protector and teacher of the traditional values of his craft. Yet, in balance to all of this, the Master reminds us that we also need to learn our own limits. Not everyone can do everything superbly. When we discover our talents and choose our craft, then we gain great joy and fulfillment from developing that skill into an art. We grow more like the Master Maker each time we do the best we can and then stretch ourselves to do a little better than that. Do whatever you do as well as you can, and then make it even better. The Master Maker reminds us that our very best work is always desirable, and in the present situation, it is necessary for success. In fact, he asks that we surpass our previous best. Don't cut corners and don't take the easy way. Don't take the easy way. Go through that hardship, struggle to get out the other side. Whether making a thing or fulfilling a concept, be sure the design is elegant, pure, and functional, and then follow it, attending to every detail in its turn. He says, design beyond your skill, and then raise the level of your skill to fulfill it. Design beyond your skill, and then raise the level of your skill to fulfill it. Give and accept only the best, and do it with love of your craft, whatever that craft may be. This card speaks of long-lasting achievement, creative problem solving, and confident action. It may suggest cooperation with others, especially from a position of responsibility or of teaching one's craft to others. Success comes from practical application of traditional principles in life and in work. Yeah. Ready but waiting. Fine-tuning your craft. Alrighty. This one came out too. So it is the 55, the Soul Shrinker. So we had 22 and 55, which I think is so interesting because I keep having 222 and 555 angel numbers pop out at me so much. That and 1, 2, 3, 4, because we're building, we're stepping, we're going along the progression. But 222 and 555 have been, and so it's funny that it's 222 and 555. Okay, so card 55, the Soul Shrinker. So I think that one was like what we need to do, and this is maybe what we're going through. The Soul Shrinker. Cruelty, malice, gossip, curses, destruction, blessing. The distasteful task of the Soul Shrinker is to observe what we say to and about others, especially the mean, nasty, and unnecessarily critical things. By observing our behavior this way, he reflects it back to us. That mirror, there it is. The shadow, making us more aware of it. This is a Bodhisattva, spiritual being devoted to helping and to bring about the enlightenment of all type of job. And it requires a great compassion, understanding, and forgiveness. If the Soul Shrinker himself is not to be dragged down to our level, if we are just inwardly spluttering, looking forwards, he may even suggest to us the words that express our feelings and energy. Then it is our choice, our test, whether or not we say them. There are two important things about malicious gossip, unnecessary criticism, verbal cruelty, sarcasm, and scoring off of others. One is that it demeans the speaker, makes him less, makes his aura darker, and encourages the behavior of as a habit, continually eroding the brightness and potential goodness of the speaker. The other important thing is that this is a way that we actually curse others. Even if the recipient doesn't hear the actual words of the blessing or curse, even if the words are not spoken aloud, they are carried as a discordant notes through the ecstasis song of the universe to the recipient. Fortunately, this is not all there is to it, or such behavior would be unforgivably wicked. Not that it isn't pretty, nearly that anyways. We all have a choice about whether we accept curses or blessings. If we choose not to accept it, then all of the energy boomerangs back to the sender, who then gets a well-deserved double dose of it. Once long ago, the Soul Shrinker was very beautiful, but listening to and witnessing all of his human ugliness has rubbed off on his appearance. Like that of a lovely frog. Oh my God, it's a frog, here it is again. Okay, that's so funny. Human ugliness has rubbed off on his appearance, like that of a lovely frog in a polluted pool with his skin raw and forming hideous growths. His heart is compassionate and anguished. His heartfelt wish is that we learn right speech and right thought. Every wicked thing a human says makes the Soul Shrinker more ugly. Every time a human learns this lesson, the Soul Shrinker becomes a bit less ugly. As you can see, humanity as a whole has a lot of work to do on this. Critical and malicious thoughts and words are having a detrimental effect on the situation and the people involved in it. I think personally it's on yourself. I don't know, maybe you are having nasty thoughts about other people, but to me, this feels like this is at you. At least that was my journey through this, was that I was having those nasty thoughts towards myself. And I needed to learn unconditional love to myself. It's funny because I thought I had, you think you do, until you open that little subconscious door and you're like, oh no, interesting. It's conditional, eh? So steps need to be taken to banish this curse energy through love and compassion, or at the very least through forgiveness and a refusal to accept the curse into oneself. Understanding the implications of this and transforming the behavior and feelings involved is a major and often very difficult step in human spiritual development. Through forgiveness and refusal to accept the curse into oneself. One of the things usually involved here is taking responsibility for ourselves and our own feelings rather than blaming others for the way we are. Another part of this process is to learn to be compassionate toward ourselves. If we can do that, it is much easier not to be horrible to or about others. This doesn't mean that we are supposed to be all sweetness and light all the time. Constructive criticism given compassionately is a part of being real, and reality is a good thing to be in touch with. Yeah. I love it. Heavy, a lot, but I think we know the message, what we need to do, what you need to do to move forward. I feel like I don't know if we need, maybe we need more of this. Doing this deck. There's so many decks. It's funny. What a beautiful rainy day. Awakening. Trust that on the other side is this gorgeous awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration of the shadow with the light, creating your wholeness, accepting your wholeness, not accepting just your light, accepting the shadow. I'm going to say it again. The shadow wants to be loved too. Love it. Send it love. It has a reason for being there. You went through some shit. You've experienced heaviness, and the shadow had to take that on for you, had to bear the weight. And so you need to love it. You need to give it love because it's held the heavy for you, and it's gross and yucky, and it takes that willingly. That's what the shadow does. And so you need to love that it can take that. And that, yeah, it can come out ugly and sideways, but you need to accept it and understand it. And then it will transmute. Okay, I think that is good for my first time doing this for you guys. I hope it was healing for you. Oh, that's funny, this card dropped. As I'm talking, this card was on the floor. I was just like, what? Why is this random card here? I don't even know where that deck went, to be honest. Oh, I put it underneath the oracle cards over there, books. But alliance. Look at us creating an alliance. Let's come together and support each other and give love and nurture and hold each other up and hold space for each other and let each other be as we ride out this crazy life. Not just the physical of what is happening in our day-to-day with politically and COVID. Everything is a crazy chaos, but also emotionally and spiritually. Everything is shifting, and we need to just be there for each other through this. And alliance, you're a part of my alliance. I'll accept you. You can come under my wing. I'd love for you to join me. I will always send love, good vibes. All right, so thank you. Sorry, it's not what you know what, I'm not gonna say sorry, but this isn't normally how I do it. I'm just taking the first leap. This one is jank, but who cares? We are doing it, and I just really was doing this for you because I think these words and this advice can really help you. I think it needed to be shared. It was weighing on my soul for a couple days here, but I just didn't have time to make it. And then all of a sudden today I was like, you know what? I'll make time. Let's do it. I need to express this. I need people to hear this. I need them to... Oh, yeah. What do you need to release? All right. Well, thank you for listening. If you listened to the whole video, if you're feeling it too, I would love to hear what you're going through. You can do it in the comments below. I plan on making more things like this, and probably in a more structured and better way. So if you want to be here through this journey with me, subscribe and like. Sounds weird saying that, and who am I even talking to? I don't have any following at all, but I know who needs to hear it will come. I'm just putting it out there. I don't really care who sees it or how many views. I'm just, here it is. Let me help you. So, there we go. Let me know what's going on in your world. I would love to hear it. Comment, talk to me, let's talk. I think I want to make live videos, but I haven't figured out how to do that. That was basically what this is, because I'm not really going to edit this, so I just didn't do it live. I just recorded it straight. But okay, many blessings to you. May you be able to float through this wild, crazy river with the sun shining on your face, and love in your heart. I love you. Thank you for existing. You are worthy because you exist. You are meant to be here. Just open up. Let your gut, your intuition, your heart guide you. And let's make our wildest dreams come true. The wildest dreams that we can't even imagine. Let's let the universe decide for us, right? All right, let's blow this candle out together. Let's make that wish. Thank you. Peace and blessings.